Hello guys, welcome to another episode of South Talk Show. So we are going to code emacs lisp today. I'm going to code it live and I'm going to give you a tutorial. And so got my other emacs lisp today. I'm going to code it live and I'm going to give you a tutorial. Sorry about that. This is good because my other video started to broadcast. Let me stop that. Sorry about that. So we're going to code emacs lisp and we are going to write a script as in just like a Python, like Python, Perl, Ruby, where you just run the script in a shell without even starting up Emacs. So this is using emacs lisp to write a script. And we are going to write a script to compute emacs lisp function frequency, use of frequency. So I have a page here that this emacs lisp function called frequency. For example, setQ is used the most often in the Emacs source code. And then if, then define, and let, and end, these are the most commonly used emacs lisp functions. And this script, this statistics is done, if you go all the way to the bottom, you can see it's done in Python. Back in, this is about 10 years ago, 2006. 15 years ago, 17. So I wrote a Python script to compute the function frequency. 2006. Wow, a long time ago. So, but today we are going to rewrite this in emacs lisp. Okay, let's begin. So, let's name emacs function frequency. Good morning, run. So .el. So you can see the pink window shows my Emacs keys and command calls. So we're gonna create a file, yes, and let's start to write the code and doc string. Okay, let's begin to write the code. Version, give today's date and documentation. Go through emacs lisp source code, and compute function usage frequency, something like that. Okay, go through emacs. So first of all, what directory we're gonna go through? So the easiest way to find the emacs lisp source code directory is you just describe function and let's say dired, some built-in function. Dired is a directory edit. So you arrive at the documentation, tab to here's the source code. So let's turn it on. So highlight source code, you jump to it. So here is the source code of dired, and you dired jump. So go to the directory, you can see, and go to the top, you can see here is where the emacs lisp code are at. These are built-in emacs lisp functions. The emacs lisp powers the entire Emacs. So which directory we're gonna go through? So we're gonna open each one. The script is going to open each one of these files. For example, open a brief, skip all the comments, and it's going to basically use search, string search, and find every left parenthesis, then the first word. For example, this eval when compiled, that's a function. Then, for example, this require, then define group, define custom, we're gonna tally them. So every time you find a function name, you put it into a hash table. And if it's not already there, otherwise you increment, the hash table key is a function name. The hash table value would be the count of that function. So that's what we're gonna do. So let's go back to dired jump. So you can see the pink window shows my command calls and keystrokes. I'm using Vorak keyboard, and this is Kinesis Advantage 2. This is Ultimate Hacking Keyboard. I use it as a key macro pad. You can find it on the web, XRD keyboard. You can find my reviews. Okay, so we're gonna, okay, so this is directory. Let's go up a directory. Yeah, so that's other files. So this is the directory we want. Copy the file path, close it, close it, close it, close it, close it. Now let's put the file path here. So just actually let's put it here. So we're gonna dive into. So first of all, we're going to traverse the directory. Okay, so let's write it out. Walk the directory. Okay. Then for each file, open it. Then find text like left parenthesis something, okay, something. If that's put it in a hash table. Hash table is basically key value pairs. Okay, let's begin. Let's just begin to do it. Okay, so first of all, the problem is, given a directory, you want to visit each and every file. So how do you do that? XRD Emacs, I have a tutorial which I use for myself. So practical emacs lisp, go there and turn on JavaScript. Okay, so in my tutorial, this section, writing a command, is mostly about interactive commands. Then here is a section of writing script. That's what we are gonna do. The type of tasks we are doing today is here. So over here you see read file, write file, work directory. That's what we want. Okay, so directory. So this directory, no subdirectory. That's the function we want. Copy it. So directory files, okay, and then you give it directory here. We copy it. Instead of let's put a variable, okay, so that's a local variable. We set it to that. Okay, so should be a directory. By Emacs Lisp convention, directory name, but directory path should end with a slash. Okay, that's a Emacs Lisp convention. Basically, you have to do that. Okay. So we got a directory, so we don't need this line. We got a directory. We want to visit the directory and visit every file path. Okay, so this function, directory files, visited, an optional full match, no sort. So return a list of name of files in directory. If full is nil, return the absolute file names. Yeah, so we want absolute file names. Full true. If match is nil, only return the matched files. Okay, so I don't think it. I think that's probably it. Let's say describe function directory. If match is nil, mention only file names whose non-directory part matches regular expression match. Okay, so match is a regular expression that we want to visit every file. So, well, we want to visit every .el files. All the files there are .el. Oh yeah, so there's also ELC. This is compiled Emacs Lisp, so we don't want to visit that. So we do want to use a regular expression to match the file name extension. Okay, so here is a regular expression, match file name extension. That should, that $sign matches the end of end of line or end of the string. So technically it should be something else because we don't want to match end of line. But anyway, file names don't have multiple lines, so $sign should do. So and in emacs lisp, that regular expression dot means match anything. So if you want a literal dot, you need to say slash backslash dot. Okay, directory files. So then you need to give another local variable, and in this case you can so let's just do it simply this way. Okay, so that's the files. You want to set a list of files to be that. Okay, so let's see, directory files, yeah. And for now, let's just print it. Okay, print okay, eval the function, and let's just run it. Okay, we need to give a name actually, so file name. So XAR report function frequency. Okay, let's just name our function that for now. Okay, so evaluate the code, then evaluate this. It should print all the file path. Indeed. So if we go to the messages buffer, you can see there's lots of files. Each one of these, for example, copy new buffer, then make them into lines. So you can see, oh, you see some of them got ELC. So ELC, that's wrong. So okay, and also okay, our regular expression is not working. Close that. So our regular expression, directory files. Okay, let's look again. Directory files, directory optional, full. Oh yeah, so first of all you need the full. Yeah, we missed one argument. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, go to the messages buffer, copy that new buffer, replace space by a new line. Exactly, so this is what we want. So we got a list of files. How many are there? 270. Okay, let's go with that. We don't, we are not diving into the directory. I mean, there are subdirectories. For now, let's just skip them. But later on, after the video, I can do them full. Okay, we need to go faster. Okay, so work the directory for each file, open it, and yeah, so okay, that's what we are doing. Okay, so now we got a list of files. Now all we have to do is so we don't need that. All we have to do is we want to map a function to the list. So for every file we open it and do stuff. Okay, so map a function, so that would be map C. Okay, map C is like map car, except it doesn't return results. So here's a documentation. So it's like for each in JavaScript and other languages. Okay, so map C. So the sequence would be X files, and the function would be a lambda function. Okay, and so X is a file. So and body, so here the body part would be open the file. Okay, so we got the structure, open the file. So so what's the next thing? So you want to open the file. So normally you can use find file, but that's super slow because find file has lots of hooks. For example, let's see. For example, describe variable, find file, hook, and its value is all these, its value is all that. New buffer, replace space by new line. So you can see every time you open a file, all these function runs, so it really slows down. You don't want you don't want that if you are writing a emacs script. These are useful functions so that when you open file, it loads the mod, it syntax color, and many other conveniences when you are using Emacs as an editor. But when in a script, you don't want that because it slows down significantly, like 10 times, especially the syntax coloring. So if you don't want to use find file to open the file, how do you do that? So I have written down the tips here. Read file. So read file is what we need. We don't need to write to files. So so here is how you do it. Okay, so let's copy the thing and put it here. Let me show you. Okay, so let's say don't use find file. Okay, so here is the part we need. So we don't need the define. So this is how you do. So with temp buffer, that function means it will create a temporary buffer. Then once you do that, you insert file contents into the buffer. Then you do something. Once you have a buffer, then you can, grab or whatever. So that's what we gonna do. So so let's use the variable. Let's not. Okay, let's use it here. So lambda file path. Given a file path, you create a temporary buffer. You insert the content into the buffer. Then you go to the beginning of the buffer. Okay. Go to char point min. That's how you move the cursor to the beginning. Then you search forward. You want to search for the string parenthesis. Okay, we want to use regular expression. So search forward is a function that searches a given string, but it's plain text. It's not regular expression. In our case, we want regular expression. So let's use research forward. Okay, this is a regular expression version. So we want to, the regular expression is going to be left parenthesis, then anything not space. Let's say anything that's not a space. So the way you do that is, let's magnify. Okay, you do that is that square bracket not space and a plus sign means one or more occurrence. So then optional bound, we don't care. Bound nil, no error, true. We don't care about error, and we don't care about the count. The count parameter limits how many occurrence, how many occurrence. Beyond that, it will just ignore. So we want to go through the whole thing. So that's research forward. Anything good? Hey, thank you, Flamio. Hey, thank you. So we go through. So search forward, search for the left parenthesis and the function name. The function name is anything not space. Yeah, because another way is that we can use anything A to Z lowercase and 0 to 9, and also include a dash. That's a regular expression. Another way we can do it. But however, some emacs list functions, they are, for example, plus 1 plus. Some emacs list functions are not just alphabets. So that's why we do it this way, not space. Okay. So now we got the word. We want to extract, we want to remove the, once we got, we want to remove the parentheses and, okay, so let's capture, so let's capture this part. Let me show you how to do that. Backslash, 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 parenthesis, that's how you capture. Because in emacs, the parenthesis is literal. So if you want to actually capture, you have to have backslash. So this way you will capture the actual function name, okay? So remove that. So capture the function name, but how do you get the word, okay? X fun name, okay? Function, so we want to set function name to match string. Okay, match string 1. 1 means the first group. Okay, so that should be it. Optional string, we don't care. So match string is the last whatever regular expression, the capture group, the first one. And we assign that to function name. Okay, so function name, that's another local variable. Let's put it here. Let's shrink the buffer a bit. Okay, let's compact our code. Okay, so now once we got the function name, now we need to add it to a hash table. So let's do this fast. Okay, hash table. Okay, so how do you create a hash table? You use make hash table, okay? But I don't remember the syntax exactly, so let's go back here. I'm familiar with my own tutorial, which I use often when I code. So, let me show you another way. So first of all, you can go to Lisp Advanced and emacs Lisp data structure. Then there's a hash table. Another way is to if you are not read my tutorial, of course, buy my tutorial, if you like my stuff. But normally you can. So right now we need to find a function that creates a hash table. How do you add to a hash table? How do you remove item in hash table? Stuff like that. So how do you do that? In general, you do a propose. Okay, so you meta x a propose. Okay, then you just type hash. That will list all functions in emacs Lisp that contains the word hash. So this is how normally you can find how to find the function you want. For example, here is the hash table. Okay, okay, so but that's not the one. We want the function to create a hash table. There are a lot. So every time you search something, there's a lot. That's why I use my own tutorial. So here is hash table. So here is what you want to do, make hash table. Okay, so we want to make a hash table. Make hash table returns a new hash table. That's right. Okay, so actually we can just put it there. And the test should be string equal. Equal will work, but let's be more precise, so that will be faster. String equal, yeah. So there are several different comparisons in emacs Lisp. For example, you can compare between numbers, you can compare between strings, or you can compare between a integer and a float. So for different purposes, you have different equality functions. For example, you have EQ, you have EQUAL, and you also have the equal symbol. So, I have a tutorial about this. But anyway, so the way we want is just string equal, okay? So this, when you make a hash table, you specify a test for equality. That's when it determines, that's how emacs determines when a key already exists in the hash table or not. Okay. So now you have a function name. So do we have the variable? Yes, we have a function name. Then you need to check if that's already in the hash table. If not, add it. Okay. So check key exists. Okay, that's how you do it. Get hash. Get hash key will be x function name. Table will be x hash. Optional, default. Okay, so yeah, so check. This will check if the key already exists. We don't care about default. Okay, so if get hash, if that's true, if the function name already is in the hash, then we increment. So we put hash. So we put hash. Okay, so if it already exists, then we put hash. Then the value will be whatever existing value plus 1. Okay, so so this is getting tedious. So the value will be existing. Okay, so that's the way you do it. The value will be that plus 1. Okay, so there. Okay, let's prettify the code so it's more readable. Okay, so put hash. So check hash, check the key exists. If it does, then we increase the value. So we put hash function name, the key, then the existing value plus 1. Okay, that's if this do not exist. Now if it exists, I mean that's if the key already exists. So if it does not exist, we simply do the same thing, but the hash value will be 1. So, okay, that's it. You see, we have used this code twice. You see this get hash. This happened twice. So we should set it a variable. Let's do it. Let's say key exists. Okay, key exists var. Okay, so yeah, so this way we don't have to call the code twice. Okay, so let's put it here. Local variable. Okay, so let's I think that's about it. Let's see. Yeah, so now I think that's it. Now after this code block is done, we can we finished generating the hash table. So now we can actually print the hash table. So let's try. Okay, so get all values, print hash table. If we print it, it's gonna be huge list of things. Okay, let's just print it. Okay, I think that's it. That's That's the whole function. How long have we been going? 30 minutes, not bad, okay? So, yeah, so evaluate it and run it. Let's just error, invalid hash table test. Okay. What? Error, invalid hash table test string equal. Why? It should work. Yeah, but let's just say that, okay? Because I want to finish this first, fast. It's strange that string equal does not work. It really should just work, okay? I don't know. Okay, let's just say equal. Evaluate the code. Okay, it's done. So now go to the messages directory. So we got a hash table here, copy it, new buffer. Now make it into a, okay, something is wrong because there are not many entries. So hash table test equal hash size data. What are this is strange. I think our regular expression is incorrect. Don't save, close it, close it. What's going on? So map a lambda file path. So this map, this part maps, and then we map to the files, and it's then lambda file path with temp buffer. Insert file content file path, go to chart point min, go to the beginning, then search forward. Is it possible our regular expression is incorrect? Let's do this, okay? Let's just, instead of that, let's just say A to Z 0 to 9, okay? Then also include the dash, okay? So regular expression search forward, we want to search the function name. Let's look up describe function regular expression bound. Bound, we don't care, no error, that's true, and we don't care about a count. So you do that, then you set X function name to be to the capture. Excuse me. Then I'm using a red switch. This is silent red actually. This is my second Kinesis Advantage I bought. The first one they sent it to me. You know, I do a review for them. Then the first one is a brown switch. Then I went and bought a linear red switch, which is this one, because I prefer linear switches, lighter. So X key exists. So get hash. Okay, so if it exists, that should work. So if it exists, then let's reduce, make it them smaller, so we don't need the put hash. So let's compact the code, okay? So if the key exists, then put hash the function name, then increase the value to 1, put it to this hash table. If it does not exist, then just put #1. So that should work. So what is wrong in our code? Okay, let's try it again. Now we did change the regular expression. Let's do it. Okay, let's look at the hash table. No, the hash table is wrong. You see, the hash table, the result hash table doesn't have much values. So what are these? So without happened once, hard happened once, normal top level happened once, one happened twice. Okay, something is wrong. So hash table. Okay, so auto load happened 6 times. C happened 258 times. Something is not right. So there are a total of 65. So because are we just going over just one file maybe? Let's close that. So for now, for example, let's with temp buffer, let's comment that out, okay? And let's just print the file path, okay? Do it. Go to the messages buffer. There we have the file path. That's correct. So we are visiting each and every file. Okay, we are doing that. Now let's open one of these. Let's look at the source code. So we are trying to search for a left parenthesis and a variable name. Left parenthesis and the variable name. So what is okay? So what is wrong? So this is correct. Okay, so what's going on? So with temp buffer, insert file contents, fpath. That's right. And go to point minimum, then search for that. Let's just say print, okay? Debug. Let's print the X function names, okay? And okay, evaluate it. Go to the messages buffer. So same thing happens. You see, it just so it's not actually 22 times, 10 times. It prints C 10 times. It prints C 10 times. Yeah, something is wrong. So it prints C 32 times. It prints C 33 times. Okay, something is wrong with my here. So let's see what is match string. So return the string of text matched. That's right. Yes. Okay, debug. We need to, okay, so let's get more elaborate debugging. Current file. So we can see what is a current file. Run it, go to the messages buffer. So current file. Oh, that's that's right. I know what's going on. You know what happened is that it actually, so once we found it, for each file, once we found the first occurrence, then we just exit it. So for each file, we only tallied one function. That's why. So now you need to put a while loop for the search forward. That's right. Yeah, obviously. While. So while search forward that, then you want to do this whole thing. Okay. So while you search forward, first of all, you go to the point beginning, the point mean beginning of file, then start to search function names. Then you found it, save it to the function name, then print the function name. Then if the key already exists in the hash, then you increment the hash value. Otherwise, you add to the hash table with value of 1. Okay, run it. Oh, now we're talking. Fantastic. So you can see it's taking a while to do. Fantastic, because we are printing so much. Let's stop. So because we are printing, this message is printing thousands, tens of thousands. Let's run again. Done. Okay. So now go to the messages buffer. This is gonna be one giant thing. So Emacs has a problem. This is the message buffer now has this one giant, huge, long line. So we don't want that because we are printing a hash table. So Emacs has this problem when there's one huge long line. It's super slow. Like I press key, it's not responsive. It takes 5 seconds to respond to a keystroke. But Emacs 28 has a new feature called so long mod. So if you turn on, it will make this problem less severe. So let's turn it on. So meta-x, even calling meta-x takes a while. So long mod. Okay, so that's a new feature in Emacs 28. So do it. Okay, now it's still slow. This line is just too long. Okay, so anyway, close it. So we don't need the message. So instead of printing hash, let's just print them one line, one by one. That will be much faster. So, well, first of all, you want to sort the hash by their frequency. Okay, so sort the hash by their frequency. Let's get this going fast. So you want to turn a hash into a list. Okay, because we need to sort it. Add entry, remove entry, apply function to all entries, check key exists, get all keys, get all values, hash to list. Okay, there is a function. And I believe in Emacs 27 also, they have a built-in function to do that. Do they have that? Let's see. Apropos hash. Okay, let's see. Let's search for list. Hash table keys. So hash to list, return a list that represents the hash table. Each element is a list key value. Okay. So we need to turn a hash table into a list so that we can sort it. Now, there are several ways to do it. Now, I'm wondering if there's a built-in function. Maybe in the past few years they added that. So you have hash table key. I don't think there is. Okay, so if we open hash table keys, then we search for define. So hash table values, hash table. Yeah, it has function to return keys and values, but we actually just want the yeah, okay, let's just use our function. So I have written this a while ago. Let's put it here, hash to list. Okay, so hash to list so let's name our function that. Okay, so add a variable here. Okay, so set q that set there. So set q function name list hash to list. Okay, then we can print. So for each x message x, okay, evaluate it. Okay, it's gonna take a long time. Okay, done. So now go to the message buffer. Fantastic. So we can see each line here. The first element is the function name. The second element is the occurrence, the number of times it happens. Okay, now we need just to sort this. Okay, so sort. So sort is the function we want. Now let's look at the documentation. Sort sequence and predicate. Okay, the sequence is that. Okay, wait, yeah, so the sequence, then the predicate is a function that does the comparison. So the function to do the comparison would be a lambda. Okay, lambda a and b takes 2 arguments, and yeah, so the okay, this is going to be inefficient, but let's just do it. Okay, so each element is a key value pair. So let me show you. Okay, so lambda, each element is the key value pair. Let's copy that and put it here. So we want to, it's a list. Okay, so kader car. Yeah, so it's something like that. Okay, I'm not gonna explain. Okay, it's gonna be like that. A and B represents each element. So A is a pair, key value pairs. It's a list. Okay, and B is also the same thing. So we want to compare them by this function less than. Okay, so this sorted version will be, let's remove that sort. We want to assign it back to the, okay, let's forget about efficiency. Efficiency be screwed. Let's just push this code, and let's push this code to get on, so we can finish this. Let's try to run it. Okay, go to the messages buffer, show the pink window, go to the messages buffer. Do we have it sorted? Yes, we do. Fantastic. You see, the earlier we go, the number becomes smaller. So we are actually interested in the most used. There it is. So the most used function in emacs Lisp source code is setQ. That sets a variable. So the second most used is if statement. Just like the way we had with, the way we did with our Python script. So 15 years ago. So you see. So we have finished, complete. So now we just we've done it, and I think that's it. So it's long enough, 50 minutes. Okay, so here's a full code. So we can, this code right now is not the most efficient because so we can do some cleanup, but essentially, I think that's it for today. We showed basically how to do it. So we can do a lot cleanup, rename function names, rename variable names so they are more intuitive, and remove some redundant functions. Redundant, for example, we don't need to set Q twice here. So let's remove the, we don't want to set this twice. Okay, function list. So we can, that way we removed one set. Usually functional programming, you don't want to change the value of a variable, so you always set just once. So wait, we got it wrong. So this actually this goes here, and this goes here. Yeah. So hash to list hash, then you saw this hash and set it to function name list. So this function name list should be sorted list. Yeah, so let's rename it. Something like that, okay? Okay, so basically we are done. Thank you guys for watching. If you like my stuff, buy my emacs tutorial. And donate. Thank you guys. So I'm gonna answer questions, see if there's any questions. We shut down in 2 minutes or so. So the code, we're gonna do some cleanup. So copy the code, close it, back to today's talk show, and add emacs Lisp code here, paste it, show in browser. So that's the code we did today. So color it, refresh, fantastic. Oh yeah, so actually the main thing I want to show, let's continue. Okay, so there is one more thing I want to show. Okay, so for example, we have this file, right? We have this xar emacs function frequency. Now remember, we want to do this without running emacs, without interactively running it. we want to do it purely as a Python script, like we talked about in the beginning. So let's go to PowerShell. Let me show you. Okay, so let's go to PowerShell. Let's magnify PowerShell. So we want to run the emacs script. Let's do it. Okay, so to generate a file. So there's an option. Let's find it. So hash table, go to emacs lisp tutorial, go to practical emacs lisp, and in this writing a command section and writing a script section, run emacs lisp code in shell. So that's how you want to do it. Okay, so let's do it. So emacs -- script, then the script name. So x, okay, x, there it is. Okay, now if we run that, it should print out a bunch of things. Let's double check. I'm pretty sure it'll work. Let's see. Yep. Do it. The term emacs is not recognized. So I need to give the specific path. Where is my emacs? So yeah, let's oh yeah, so okay, so you got a cd to emacs 28 bin, then you have emacs. Okay, so now we need to so here is how you wanna do. So let's copy. So file path will be that, and script. Okay, so it's gonna be something like that. There, do it. Debugger entered lisp error, file missing, cannot open load file. What? Oh yeah, so my file path is incorrect. So there's a XOR redundant. Let's do it again. Fantastic. Oh, you didn't see it, I guess. So it's printing lots of things. Stop it. Now we just redirect to a file name. Let's say xxx something. Okay, do it. It still prints out. Wait, what happened to the PowerShell redirect? Anyway, okay, so that's it. So, we are in Emacs directory. Wow, that's not good. No good. Anyway, so thank you for watching. Bye, guys. Yes, elisp tutorial. My tutorial is includes the Emacs and emacs lisp. So you can find it, just search Xadi Emacs. And I also have JavaScript tutorial. I talked about this often in my video. So let me tell you, so you guys can buy my stuff, support me. So Emacs and emacs lisp tutorials, they are great. You are looking at xadi.info. And my also PowerShell script is very good. Python and my Golang script is also pretty good. But mostly the most in-depth is my JavaScript tutorial. So my all these are free. You can read all of them out. Available online. But the most, it has almost 1,000 pages. That's the emacs, Lisp, and JavaScript. Okay, bye guys.